Okay, we'll open the Facilities Committee meeting, and I'll just turn it over to Mr. Davis to go over the agenda.
Good morning. Item A1 on the agenda is going to be held over until next time due to timing issues. So that would bring us directly to agenda item B1, surplus property minimum bids. That can be found over on page
44.
44 and 45. We have some vintage equipment that it's time to part ways with, and per policy, we need to surplus this and have the board establish minimum bids. We've looked at the age of the equipment and set minimum bids accordingly, and we're looking for committee approval and ultimately board approval on these bids.
I like the terminology of vintage. I mean, it's not archaic or rundown, or it's vintage.
Absolutely.
So obviously, there's still some value in these, obviously, Steve, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
mostly, it's the attachments, the plows, could be bought and put on somebody else's truck, and that's kind of really what I'm looking at, but as far as the vehicles go, none of them are roadworthy, for us. We don't let anybody,
Well, I see a minimum bid of $300.50. I mean, that's a set of tires. Yeah. What do we have to replace all this, Steve?
we're replacing,
I know we bought a new truck and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, these are,
and then the plows, actually the International was used, at the port for quite a while, because it had the sander and everything, so we plow with that, but we're able to do that with pickup trucks and, with the new access road, basically, the International that we use around here goes down and makes a run down there, so that takes care of most of that, so. And then we do have the plow on the new dump truck, that we usually, use, for major snowfalls.
so what do we have at the airport? Do we use it, do we have
We-
anything there definitely all the time, or do we?
Yes,
bring
we
the
have,
truck?
the 2004 is, dedicated, the 2004 International. We have a 2002 International and a 2004 International, and they were all purchased, they were purchased in those years. So the 2002 is 11 years old and the 4 is 9 years old.
No, do they go anywhere else, or they just stay there?
No, the 2002 does work around here and also
Okay.
outside of
So
here.
4 stays there all the time?
Yeah, the 4 is dedicated there because we have to keep just sand on that one. The other one, we mix either sand and salt or salt. So, if we were to take the 04 out there, it'd only be to plow, it wouldn't be to lay any material down. But the 02 is dedicated, strictly to that,
Mhm.
and it helps out if we need it up here.
So you would say that keeping in mind here that this thing, International Snowplow is 30 years old,
Mm-hmm.
is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Is that got a 30-year plow on it too?
Mm-hmm.
Must be hard to find equipment to even repair it.
Yeah, and then the sander is basically, with all that road salt and everything, it's just eating, the sander is, you can't keep it operating anymore, so.
Where was that generator made, do you know?
I don't know, that was here before, that was the original generator, Fred, for one of the conveyors. And the engine runs, but the generator head was shot there 4 or 5 years ago, and it was just too much to repair.
Well, I would think we should move the resolution. The whole board. Okay.
All right. The
The thing I find interesting, in 2034, our truck will be, if it lasted, if we're still here for 30 years, that'll be amazing.
Yeah,
That'll be amazing. I know we're all be long gone, but
the next item is in 2 parts. One is on page 41 of your packet, and the other is a loose handout that was on your on top of your purple folder there when you came in. This is approval of a copier lease with an MWBE Enterprise. As background, we've got a couple things going on here. We've got a mandate that we comply with MWBE policy goals, which indicates that we need to have 20% of our spend in MWBE funding. We're not there yet. We're at, best case, 13.6% with a goal of 20 for the previous year. We need to increase that, and we're looking at places where we can increase that. One area where we can increase that spend is on the copiers. We looked at it and actually found a deal on that. Do you wanna talk about that?
Yes, I started by calling a company called Repeat Business Systems near Albany, and they connected me with Office Systems in Plattsburgh and Watertown, who they partner with, because they can't get here for service, but Office Systems can. So this is a partnership between Repeat Business Systems and Office Systems. These are Konica Minolta. They're just a little bit better than what we have right now. The bigger machine will copy 65 pages per minute. The one we have now copies 60. The color copier, the one we have now copies 25 pages a minute. This copies 28. So they're a little bit faster, a little bit better technology because they're newer. And I think the main decision that needs to be made is whether to buy them or lease them. They have a value, the two of them together, a MSRP value of nearly $50,000. This company honors the New York State bid, even though that has expired, and we can get them for $16,290. Leasing them will cost us about $2,000 more than buying them over the 4-year period. But I think there's an advantage to leasing. There's a little bit of a cost there, the $2,000. But the advantage is at the end of 4 years, you get the newer technology. You replace a machine that's probably beginning to cause mechanical problems. These are mechanical machines. And you're really at the end of 4 years forced to do that because your lease is ended. If you buy them, I think we would probably tend to keep them. Well, let's keep it another year. It seems to be working okay, and so you miss the technology bump, and you start having productivity problems. So I think leasing is a good thing for machines like this, and that's why I have recommended that we lease them. The savings on this is from the other is $2,800 a year, counting what we're paying now and the maintenance agreements that we have now, versus the lease on these and the maintenance agreements, maintenance and supplies, including toner. So that's significant, $2,800 a year over a 4-year period.
I always think, like you rent a car, or you lease a car or buy it, and you say as you come out to the end, it seems like there's a push in America that leasing is a good deal. It all depends because the resale value of the vehicle stays high, so if it goes low, then you kind of go that whatever. I don't know this equipment. I mean, it's like a market for this stuff, whatever, after 4 years, what's the value of it? 4-year-old equipment of what you have here is, probably what you say is, I don't know, wear and tear, whatever you want to be, and what is the value of it? So, it seems to me your appraisal is, the value isn't very much after 4 years, and why not get new stuff and keep it the productivity and effectiveness of the machines to do that? And plus, you got a savings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Think of it as a 4-year-old computer, and it kind of tracks along those.
Now, let me ask this question, because we're gonna talk a lot of this MWBE stuff, whatever. Now, changing contract and this going this way, whatever, what percentage change will that be? I mean, will we get a percent change, or, because
Let's see, so that's
The total spending be able to be counted as MWBE
yeah,
over
the
that
total
whole
spend will
term.
be, so this is, I think what we will do is, this will be 381. That was a good question, I hadn't anticipated it, so, just give me a second.
Hey, what do you think I'm here for? Steve?
I know.
Hey, what am I here for?
I think you got it right there on page 43, don't you?
1.4%? That'd be close.
Is that the proposed system?
Yes, okay, yeah, that's 7430, but that's, okay, yeah, okay, that'll work, over, probably about 400. It'll be, that'll increase at, .007 and a half,
Oh,
percent.
less than 1%?
less than 1%.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, it's not a game changer in that department, but it is a game saver in the savings department. Oh, that's what we have to do.
It is working in the right direction, because this is the direction we have to go in.
Right.
Yes.
If we can get an earlier point here, you know, another few points somewhere else, then we'll get there. It's hard to get there all at once.
One of the things that we'll be looking at too is the bridge insurance, because with that order of magnitude, we could hit our MWBE targets in one fell swoop right there. But
Yeah.
that doesn't come up again for another year though.
Now, on the leasing side of it, tell me about this maintenance. How does that,
We pay, on page 43, we would pay $381.92 for the lease, per month. That's for both machines. And then for, supply costs, for 165,000 black and white copies and 20,000 color copies, we get, 24-hour service. I mean, within 24 hours, they will come and fix it. Plus, we get toner. They'll supply the toner for that, for those number of copies. Now, if we go over those number of copies, the overage cost is defined right there, 1 cent per black and white copy, 6 cents per color copy when we go over. Our current contract, you can see just up above there, we pay nearly 2 cents for black and white, 9 cents for color. So, savings there are, you know, if we go over, are significant, but,
how many times have we went over in the past?
we went over because our current one is 120,000 copies. And, so we raised this to 165, which is what we have paid for in the last couple of years. And we paid for 18,000 color, and we got this covered to 20,000.
All right, let me ask this dumb question then. When it comes to colored copies and stuff like that where it's expensive,
Mhm.
and we gotta do bulk copying, do we do that here, or do we just take it somewhere else and have it done?
John gets his things printed outside. Those are mostly for if we're preparing.
So we don't do
grant.
that bulk stuff here
We
on
don't do
our
the bulk
machine?
stuff here, no.
It's just
No.
regular business?
Yeah, regular business.
Do you print through these copiers?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, these are all network printers.
Okay.
There's very few printers that are used other than these.
They're also, I'm sorry to interrupt, they're also document scanners, and they also serve as our fax machine.
Fax machine.
So you're happy with this?
Yes, yes.
Is it an American-made machine, or?
I don't think so. Konica Minolta, I don't think so.
No. Now, if our present company that we had, they were WB certified, could they match this, whatever?
Our present company is not MWBE certified. It's,
They're like 23%.
Yeah, 24% women-owned business, but they aren't certified. I mean, they can apply for certification and do a spin-off unit or something like that that is MWBE owned, but
24% owned means they're not certified because you have to be 51% owned.
Yeah.
Right.
so their ownership structures.
I know in some of those emails, they
Doesn't matter,
kept
man,
stressing that, and I kept
Yeah.
thinking it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Explain
Is
this
that
pro-
person local, excuse me, Sam, is
Yeah.
that person a local person in this area? Is it a business from this area?
Where are these guys out of?
These guys are out of Watertown.
Right, but I'm
The
talking
same
about the
place.
one that we do business with
They're,
now.
Out of
they're in the
Watertown.
same section of the industrial park in Watertown, Muroc Circle, both, same place.
Yep, so they're both local.
Okay.
You know, we're on camera, cause I like to, people hear this. In this process, you search out for WMB certified thing, whatever.
Yes,
So they're in their own process over here, who bids over here. Meanwhile, everybody's in the bidding process,
that's right.
but then then the other people are certified. If we have nobody in the, MWB stuff, whatever, now we look to the right side, whatever you wanna call it.
Right.
So in this case here, the other people were eliminated because we had people in that column that said, okay, they're certified.
I had bids from, a Messina vendor who, is not NWBE certified, and their price was, for purchase, just to, for comparison, is about $7,000 higher. For a Messina firm.
So you're happy with this?
Yes, very much so. I think it's
I'm
a
happy.
really good deal.
You make a motion to move it to the full
I'll make a
board?
motion move it, yeah.
I'll
Second?
Yeah.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, we're out of order. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna use that one, that's a good one.
That's it for, regular business.
Okay,
Motion to adjourn.
make that motion.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.